It's been a while. Alright, be thoughtful what gift you give to a kid. Doesn't matter if it's big or small, bouncy or fluffy, new, old or new and still has that China factory smell. Kids will run away with it. Kids will make great things out of these toys. And I know I sound like a Toy Story commercial, but toys are great for kids. Just close your eyes for a second and think of your favorite toy when you were a kid. And you're not going to think of like the toy itself and what it is. You're going to think of what you did with that toy. And that was the funnest part of having a toy, was like all the things that toy let you do and escape and all the experiences you had with it. So a lot of my favorite toys when I was a kid were cars. I didn't love like the cars, like the models. I don't remember the models or anything of those. I just remember being the driver behind it, and all the stories that I would create with them, and it was awesome. My first toy was like this. When I was like 4 or 5, my grandfather gave me this like slot car electric, where they would just run on a track, and it was awesome. I would hold that trigger really tightly and just like pretend it was the wheel, and had so much fun and watch it go in circles, and I had fun. You know, the red car always won, so I was that one, and it got boring after a while because I know which one it was, you know, and it was always doing the same thing. So you can imagine how excited I was when randomly one day, out of nowhere, a friend of my parents came to visit, and she brought this toy, a gift for me, and they call me down. They come down and they tell me they have a gift for me, and I go and they give me this box of Matchbox cars, like 50 of them or more. It was heaven. It was amazing. It was like she was Christopher Columbus and I was the king, and she came back with this treasure chest. And those plastic toys were my golden coins, and it was amazing. And I grabbed it with 2 hands and ran away and had so much fun with it. It was amazing. And I ran away and drifted for years, literally, until I grew up. Those were my favorite toys. As I said, I put myself behind every single driver of those cars. I had this green boogie-like car that I pretended I was this Australian dude without sleeves, and I would just, you know, go on adventures, like off-road, and it was like awesome. You know, I had all kinds of different cars, and it was great. And I love having cars. It was great. But I didn't bring my toys and my cars to the car, like when I was in the car with my parents, when we were going on a ride or wherever. I didn't really bring my toys like nowadays. I see my little cousins and they bring their toys and their electronics. Like the only electronic I had in the car when I was riding with my parents was like the window button, you know. And that was, it was lucky it wasn't my car, not my grandparents' car where you had to like roll down the window. And if you were lucky, you would sit in the front seat, and then the radio became your electronic and your toy. And you know, you only had about 10 seconds before you get your hand smacked, but it was worth it. You know, the rush of playing with all those buttons, it was worth it. My grandparents had a chauffeur for a while, and he got annoyed that I used to like to play with all these buttons. And he told me if I turned the AC on, which now I know it's the AC, but back then he told me if I turned that on, it would eject my seat out of the car. And so I never touched that, never. But he never warned me about the cigarette lighter, so I got a good burn out of that one. So when you don't have your toys in the car, then you look for games. You look for something to do. So the cars on the street became my toys, and I would play games with them, mental games, like we all have. You know, you find patterns and colors and things to do. And I think everybody here has played the license plate game, right? Yeah, anyway? Right, so we've all played that, but I grew up in Bolivia, so there we don't have 50 states, we have 9. So you think that game would have been done in a week. But actually it's a lot trickier than that, because cars don't really travel interstate back home. So even though I got most of them in a good time, there was one that was just elusive. You know, I didn't get it. For months and months, there was just this one that I didn't get it. And I waited for months and nothing, and it turned maybe into a year or more, and I kind of just forgot. You know, I gave up. I kind of felt that I don't know, like this game there's a flaw in this game. Like, you know, like I won. I didn't really count that state, sort of like what Americans do with North Dakota sometimes. You know, like, just whatever. But whatever, so I kind of forgot about it and started playing my other games. And one time, and then the next year I was in the car on my birthday. It was on Monday. I was pissed. I was pissed that my birthday was on a Monday. It was a gloomy, rainy Monday. I was a little kid. I had to go to school. I had a math test. I was pissed. I was like, why? Why is my birthday not awesome? My name is Nathan, and it derives from like from the Hebrew word of gift. So I was like, it should be glorious. I should be getting all these gifts. What the hell? So as I was riding in the car with my mom driving me to school, I see it right there in our street. The car, the license plate that I was missing on a Volkswagen Beetle, and I just was speechless. And I realized there that sometimes like that joy that I got from seeing that, the only other time that I saw a gift give me that feeling was when I got those Matchbox cars. And I realized that real toys, or the ones you make up in your mind, are great things. So that's something I try to keep in mind.